Yes, Mrs. President, we were very critical to Mrs. Ashton 2 weeks ago. Mr. Cohn-Bendit, myself, and I have seen that Mr. Severin has adapted a little bit his language now and becomes also forward with bolder language. I think it was absolutely necessary 2 weeks ago that we did this intervention, because it was a wishy-washy attitude from the European Union. And I think now that things are clear in Egypt, we need three things. First of all, I think that the Commission has to come forward with a credible and global plan for Tunisia and for Egypt, how to strengthen civil society, what to do to fight corruption, how to help in building democratic institutions, how to create also an independent justice system, how to help economic construction and development. And that's a question not of millions, Mr. Commissioner, but of billions. And I think that you have to come forward as fast as possible with a global plan. Second is that yesterday our group had a video conference with Mr. Ayman Noor, one of the leading opposition leaders of Egypt, and there are a number of concerns. In all this debate now in Egypt on the change of the constitution, I can tell you the secular democratic political parties are not involved for the moment, and that is a message to give. Secondly, also to deal with this in 2 months and to organize elections in 2 months, I think it's a non-starter, because it does mean that we shall have normal political parties there participating to this. And then also the whole question about the proportional representation or an individual representation system there. So I sent a message to the High Representative, to Mrs. Ashton, to ask that in her contacts on Monday she should raise these three questions that are fundamental for a real democratic society in Egypt in the near future. And I think that with this European Parliament we have to back her in these three claims, and I hope that she expresses these three elements, these three concerns in her contacts in Egypt. And then the third element, Mr. Commissioner, it's not the end. We see things happening in Bahrain, in Yemen, in Algeria, in Iran, in Libya, in Morocco, in Kuwait. I think that what we need now is also a bold message of the High Representatives on what is happening in these countries, and not to wait until a number of things have happened. So also on these issues we need a clear communication of the European Commission, but mainly of Mrs. Ashton, on what's happening in these countries, and our support, expressing our support to the masses in these countries.
Herzlichen Dank.